Hi, guys. We are getting ready to start our second week of classes, and hopefully, you are caught up and done with your first week. You will want to finish that before you move on to this, but I would get on it and make sure that you're caught up pretty quickly here. If you don't get caught up the way the assignments work, it'll feel pretty overwhelming. So, I would set some priorities and dig in this week. Just so you remember, we are meeting Monday and Tuesday, whichever day your class is, and we are not meeting on Thursday and Friday with a live class. So I've posted this for you so you have everything that you need, and as needed, I will add information based on questions that I get. Please post your questions in the questions for the course discussion board, and I will get to those. Friday, I am out of the building. So Friday and over the weekend, I will not be able to answer questions for you. So you need to make sure that you've looked at this and you've asked questions before 3:00 on Thursday when I leave the building. So if you have any questions like that, please don't hesitate to reach out. But if you ask me over the weekend when you're trying to wrap this up before the due date on Sunday night, I will not be able to answer your questions. I will not have access to my cell phone. So it'll be physically impossible for me to do that for you. So please make sure you get that done, because I don't want you to be stuck without being able to move forward. And if you do, the due dates will still exist and you still will have late work, and I still will take points off because you have a week's worth of warning to kind of get to that point. So let me know and make sure that things are working for you. So this week's learning goals, you can see here, are I can independently use strategies to make sense of media. So basically, this is a reading goal. I want to make sure that you can read and understand what you're reading and be able to kind of make some sense of it within everything else that's going on and everything else that you're reading. And so that's what I'm really looking for. The other thing, the long-term learning goal we have, is that I can understand the history of media, including the First Amendments and its foundational role in media today. We'll get into the First Amendment side of that next week, but this week you're focusing on just kind of like, what does media look like? What did it used to be? And I know we have an idea of different types of media that used to exist, but I provided some examples for you to use and to look at, so you kind of get a gist of how different and how similar in a lot of ways media is now to how it was in the past. So this is your video here that you're watching now, your weekly walkthrough. You have your no red ink. It should take you about 15 minutes at the longest. It's just a quick practice. You do need to score 100%. So I would make sure you get that done. And when you get it done, I will automatically put the points for you in the grade book on that one. Your article of the week is a new thing, which I will give you a quick video here in a little bit about, so that you have a clear understanding of what I expect for that article. Media literacy vocab. This is just, I want you to study these words, and then we will have a quiz next week over that in class time. So by the time we meet next week, you will need to have studied these words and have a general understanding of what they are. So you should know the definitions and know the words. You have 2 crash courses to watch. Crash course History of the Media 1 and 2. They're each just shy of 10 minutes long. That's more interesting than me kind of talking about it, because I don't have the production that they have, and they're, as far as learning videos go, they're not too bad. And I always kind of find it fascinating to think about what my parents and my grandparents had as far as media was concerned. And, for you guys, it would be, my grandparents would be great grandparents, right? So, the fact that they didn't even have television when you were their age, and how we have all these screens now, is quite interesting to see how that's grown and how that's changed us in a lot of ways. So he talks about that. And then History of the Media text set is really just examples of media. There's a few short videos, there's some radio broadcasts, quite a variety of things. And I want you to just kind of take some time, and you might not listen to the entire War of the Worlds, right? Because it's pretty long, but it is pretty interesting to think, like, this is how people listen to music. If you like audiobooks, this is kind of where the idea of an audiobook kind of comes from, right? So it's really interesting. So you're going to watch, read, listen to some of these texts, and then you're going to complete the discussion board. It does require that you complete yours before you can see everybody else's. So you're going to complete the discussion board on this one. So the things that I'm grading are the no red ink, article of the week, media discussion board, and then next week you'll have a vocab thing. So I put that on there just to remind you, but I'm not grading anything for the vocabulary this week. But if you don't spend a little time this week studying those words, it'll be much harder. And our meeting, I don't know at this point, I'm not sure if it will be early in the week or late in the week next week. So those are the things that you'll have to do. Here is the folder. It's set for completion. You must complete each thing before you can move to the next. And so that's pretty important to keep in mind. Many of you have had trouble because you've jumped ahead. Even if you did it, but it somehow didn't open completely or something like that, then that's what's happening. So you need to make sure you click on everything, you open it, you read through it before you move on. And that will help save you a lot of time and energy when it comes to getting these done. So keep up your hard work. This is everything. I've timed it out. It's less than 200 minutes, about 190 minutes of stuff for you to do in this. And so that's not even as much time as we would have in class together in a week. So, you've got plenty of time to get this done, and hopefully you can get it done before Friday and then have next weekend off. That would be how I would try to set up my week if I were you, especially since we're not meeting the second half. You can use all that time to get your work done ahead. So I'm here for you. If you have any questions, remember I'm done Thursday at 3 for the entire weekend and won't be back on the clock until Monday at 7. So that's after your assignments are due. So try to at least dig in here and get some questions figured out here the first half of the week. So talk to you soon.